Hello everyone, this is Enactus, Management Club of VSIT, and under the segment of Knowledge Bites, today we are starting with podcast. And today, for our first episode of our podcast, we have none other than a pioneer, a curious mind in the field of finance, Mr. Mandar Chaudhary sir. As we know, on 1st February 2023, Nirmala Sitharaman's blessings gave us the budget, and topic for today is also going to be the budget. Sir, I have some questions for you. As I know how informative and how dedicated you are for the field of finance, I would start with a small question first, which is how would you describe the budget in just one word?
It is a very positive step in a capital expenditure, but at a similar point of time, it is sort of a bit regressive step in managing public debt.
Okay, right.
खर्चे में अच्छा था, कर्जे में थोड़ा कच्चा था.
Acha. Okay. So, my next question to you is there have been certain changes in certain sectors in terms of investment after the budget. For example, there have been changes in railways, defense, and also to some extent public sector banks. So, do you think there are certain sectors which would grow and prosper after the budget of 2023?
Yes, correct. If we see the railways budget and if you compare from the last budget, there is a huge impetus given in the railway budget. And since all of you know that railway caters to the Aam Janta, railway in a year transports around 8 billion population, which is population of entire world. And if we are giving an impetus in the railways, it will actually impact the common man of India. The various initiatives such as Vande Bharat, different scheme, would help to grow railway further.
Right. Okay. So they are working towards it. There is some process, work in process going on with it. Okay. So talking about some recent news, I read Mint as you had suggested, the newspaper, and in that they had suggested that there have been some depositions of lithium in Jammu and Kashmir in India. And after the budget, I think they have also reduced the import duties on lithium basically. So I had a question like, do you think India would be a number one manufacturer of electronic vehicles in the future?
Yes, this is a curious case of India if you analyze. If we see the electric vehicle manufacturing as of now, I'll just take a brief overview of electric vehicles. So in the low cost EV segment, there is no alternative players. If we say Hyundai Kona in India, which costs roughly around 25 lakh plus, MG ZS Plus, which also costs 25 lakh plus. Yeah, the Chinese BYD again costs roughly around 30 lakh plus. But in case of India, there are two sweet spots such as Tata and Mahindra, and they all can manufacture below 15 lakhs. And on top of it, if the lithium battery is reducing, the import duty is reducing, it will give a huge impetus. However, there should be some cautionary statement which need to be added that reducing import duty is not even sufficient, but we need to increase our optimality of our batteries. So that is also one of the essential things. And one also thing is there is a something scheme called as PLI, Production Linked Incentive Scheme. We need to improve the impetus, dedicated impetus and battery expansion because future would be.
Right. And also, sir, there is very lack of awareness about hydrogen fuel.
Yes.
So, do you think what's your take on hydrogen fuel?
See, in this budget, if you see, government has also given some incentive for green hydrogens.
Okay.
So there are many few private players also who are focusing on the green hydrogen. However, green hydrogen is very at the nascent stage. So it will take us some time so that we'll develop some infrastructure and we can have a manufactured based hydrogen fuel.
Right.
As of now, it is sort of a prototype hobby space.
Okay. Right. I mean, very thoughtful of you. And my next question would be understanding the old tax regime and new tax regime. How would you describe it to a common man? How can a common man understand it?
Okay. So there are two tax regimes, old and new. You can apply for income tax under any tax regime, either old or new. Only difference is that in the newer tax regime there are no deductions. Whenever you invest in provident fund, NPS, equity linked savings schemes, or such instruments under ATC or ATCCD, you get some amount of exemption. Such as if you invest 1.5 lakh under PPF, so that 1.5 lakh would be exempted from the taxes, or 50,000 under NPS that is exempted from the taxes. However, in new tax scheme, the good thing they have done it, they have increased the rebate limit till 7 lakhs. आसान भाषा में अगर न्यू टैक्स स्कीम में 7 लाख के नीचे अगर आपका इनकम है, अगर आप कोई भी सेविंग नहीं कर रहे हो, then you don't have to pay any tax. However, अगर आपका इनकम 7 लाख के ऊपर जाता है, 8 लाख 9 लाख जाता है, But in that point of time, अगर आप old scheme में अगर जो भी reduction लो, then you are at a better place. So depending on you, whether you are an investing person or whether you do not wish to invest, depending on that, you can choose old or a new scheme.
Old on easy. And also, sir, I checked on this newspaper that in the new regime, they're showing the fact that if your income is between 7.5 to 10 lakhs annual income, then you have like 15. You have to pay 15% tax, which was 20% before.
Correct.
So there has been some evident change.
Correct. Prima facie it looks glorious.
Right.
But if we dig down the surface level, you have to understand the income tax limit is 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs. You don't have to pay tax. In here, you don't have to pay tax below 7 lakhs. But in the older tax regime, you can get 1.5 lakh as an exemption in ATC, 50,000 under 80 CCD. There are few exemptions such as housing loan interest.
Okay.
Few such as premium, insurance premium. So if you add up that thing, that goes around 3-4 lakhs. So technically, if I'm earning 8.5 lakhs, still I can pay zero tax in the old tax regime.
Okay.
So I am not paying any tax under 8 lakh, and if I'm claiming, if I'm boasting that here in new tax regime I'm not paying 7 lakh, that looks glorious, but we need to
Work on it. Okay. So far, we have covered most of our points.
Yeah.
But talking about some major evident changes, there was an upscale of 16% of tax on tobacco products.
Yes.
So my personal question to you, I don't smoke, but my personal question, thank you, sir. My personal question to you is, would that stop people from consuming it or not? क्या लगता है आपको?
आपके दोस्तों से पूछो जवाब मिले. बाय द वे सिगरेट कंजम्पशन आपको पता रहेगा कि इनइलास्टिक डिमांड है. 10 रुपए हो, 20 रुपए हो, मुकेश अम्बानी चिल्लाए या फिर अल्टीमेट अक्षय कुमार ऐड करे, जनता फूकना है तो फूकेगी. हाउएवर, सेइंग दैट कि अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करोगे सिगरेट्स के रेट भी टैक्सेशन बढ़ते जा रहा है, बट उसका कंजम्पशन कम नहीं हो रहा है. सो बाय इंक्रीजिंग द टैक्स रेट वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन द सप्लाई साइड ऑफ द सिगरेट्स, but we are not focusing on the demand side of the cigarettes. So we need to balance on both the sides.
Right.
So increasing the tax rate will, according to my personal opinion, will not reduce the demand because it has not reduced in the recent past. So we need to focus on demand side. How can we prevent our youth
from consumption? It's a dream, sir.
Yeah,
Let's hope it happens. Finger crossed. And my next question is, sir, how about the middle class and the working class? क्या लगता है आपको कि बजट ने उनके फेवर में आया है बजट या उनके फेवर में नहीं आया है?
See, by the way, हमारी जो भी डिबेट्स होती है ना, वो आइदर हमारी बाइनरीज होती है. आप मेरे साथ हो या मेरे खिलाफ हो. तो हम लोग जो डीपर नुआंसेस है ना, जो ग्रे एरिया, लाइफ डज नॉट मूव ऑन ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट. So there are few things which is good for a middle class, such as अगर आप देखोगे कि रेलवेज के लिए जो इम्पुटस मिला, that is good. अगर आपको यहाँ पे कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर हुआ, कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर मतलब क्या? रोड्स वुड बी बिल्ड, एयरपोर्ट्स वुड बी बिल्ड, एंड दैट वुड इनवेरिएबली हेल्प द मिडिल क्लास. बट इफ यू से कि डेडिकेटली समथिंग इज देयर फॉर मिडिल क्लास, there you might not find any good points. So it is a well-rounded budget which will score good for middle class, but which might have some lacking point for middle class.
Okay. And I also came to know about the 3.5 lakh annual income scheme. One does not have to pay tax if their annual income is 3.5 lakhs. So it's some kind of a cashback being given to the public. Do you think so?
That's okay. The गरीबों से कितना ही टैक्स लोगे basically. That's how the progressive tax system should work.
Right. Absolutely. And so, what about the changing in taxation in high individual net worth? It's a very important topic.
Yes, that has been criticized by few spectrum. The high net worth individual surcharges have been reduced to some amount. In some words, people say that it is sort of a pro-capitalist budget, but I hope you might have understood the concept of Laffer curve.
Yes.
Laffer curve generally states that if we reduce the tax rate, generally tax revenue does not reduce.
Right.
Generally tax revenue may increase. The number of people may pay the tax will increase, and that's how the revenue will increase.
Right.
So let's hope and see whether the revenue from the high net worth individuals is increasing or not.
Okay. On the same lines, I think in the presidency of Trump, The same thing had happened.
Yes.
He increased the rate and people
He-
started paying
Trump
tax.
decreased the rate,
Acha.
and the tax revenue was increased from the Obama.
Right,
So
right.
that's how the lakh curve works.
Oh, so we could see some changes in
But we need
2024.
to have some data.
Right,
So budget should move beyond the rhetorics and focus on the data.
right. Okay, very nice. And talking about FDI, sir, like one of the important discussions that we always have in finance, FDI. Do you think there should be an increase in the rate of FDI, like after the budget?
See, foreign direct investment per se is constantly increasing. But I hope you must have studied about angel tax, if you could say so.
Hmm.
Angel investors are nothing but they invest in the startups. So recently government has put some angel tax that has been bit dampener for especially venture capitalists या startup space. So we need to focus on that. We should not disrupt the startup economy. If we see in last year also there are more than 20 unicorns. In India there are more than 50 unicorns which is established which value more than 1 billion. It is generating some revenue, it is generating some employment, and we need to focus more of it rather than having some dampening issue. Recently, if you see the news, in the January 2023, roughly around 30% our inflows through VCs has been reduced. So we need to focus a bit, and we need to, how can we promote FDI in the holistic sector? Just
Right.
I'll take one more thing.
Please.
अगर आप देखोगे ना यहाँ पे एफडीआई की जरूरत कहाँ पैदा है?
Hmm.
एफडीआई की जरूरत हमें है कि जहाँ पे आम जनता जहाँ पे इम्पैक्ट हो, मतलब
जी।
जहाँ पे एग्रीकल्चर है, जहाँ पे ज्यादा एम्प्लॉयमेंट है, जहाँ पे एमएसएमई सेक्टर है,
Priority sectors. Okay.
तो जो जनता को ज्यादा एम्प्लॉयमेंट दे वहाँ पे अगर एफडीआई आया तो दैट इज गुड थिंग.
Okay.
I'll just take few moment.
Please.
अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करोगे कि मत्स्य संपदा नाम का स्कीम आया था which promotes the food processing industry in the fishing. Generally food processing industry reduces the waste and increases value exponentially.
Right.
So
Oh.
अगर इस जोन में अगर मैं एफडीआई लाए तो जनता का फायदा होगा और रोजगार भी मिलेगा.
Acha. So right, that makes sense. Absolutely. Okay. So also, so if we discuss about the fiscal deficit, public debt, what do you think the fiscal deficit is increasing? So what's your take on it? I know you have something more to say about this.
Now just I'll put some premise. If you see all the countries who have gone to doldrums, who have failed or almost who have seen the depression, there's one common thread which is a huge public debt. If we see 2008 crisis, it is linked to debt. If we see 1997 का Asian financial crisis, it is linked to debt. If we see the recent crisis in Sri Lanka, it is linked to debt. And if we see the recent our neighbor Pakistan, it is also linked to debt.
Correct.
So public debt should be minimal, but in all the economic spectrum, in many newspapers or TV channels, we don't see a good assertion and how we should and how we must reduce the public debt. If we, I'll just highlight, अगर आप 2 साल पहले का फिस्कल डेफिसिट देखो तो वो मेरा 18 लाख करोड़ का था. अभी का मैं है almost 16 lakh करोड़. So 18 lakh crore, 16 lakh crore is huge. We have a FRBM Act, which is Fiscal Responsibility Budgetary Management Act, which broadly states that our public debt should be in limits. कर्जा हम सह सके उतने रेंज में होना चाहिए. But it has gone to 9%. Recently, that budget has gone up to 6% of the GDP, which is humongous.
Right.
इशू क्या होगा पब्लिक डेट बढ़ा तो? इशू ये है कि पब्लिक डेट बढ़ा देन आई हैव टू रीपे द इंटरेस्ट. अगर आप ऑब्जर्व करोगे कि हमारा मोस्ट ऑफ द एक्सपेंडिचर ज्यादा कहाँ पे जा रहा है, अगर आप कोई भी जनता को पूछोगे व्हाट आर योर प्रायोरिटी एरियाज वेयर यू वुड लाइक टू स्पेंड, द मोस्ट ऑफ द यूथ वुड मे सेकिंग एजुकेशन, साइंस एंड टेक, IT sector, healthcare sector,
Telecom.
that might be the priority areas.
Right.
But our budget expenditure is consumed by the interest payment, which is a wasteful expenditure.
Right.
Presently 20% of our expenditure is only in interest.
Right.
9 लाख करोड़ हम लोग इंटरेस्ट में दे रहे हैं. 9 लाख करोड़ इंटरेस्ट में दे रहे हैं मतलब क्या? वो मुझे वापस से रेज करने पड़ेंगे.
हाँ.
वो रेज नहीं कर पाऊंगा मतलब क्या? मुझे वापस से कर्जा लेना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
वापस से मेरा इंटरेस्ट बढ़ेगा, वापस से कर्जा लेना पड़ेगा, इंटरेस्ट कर्जा. That is the classical case of debt trap.
अच्छा.
So we must focus that कि हम लोग debt trap में ना फंसे और debt trap से कैसे बाहर. So that should be the public discourse.
Right. So it's a loop, sir.
Loop. It is a vicious cycle, and we should
Achha.
not.
We should not get into it
Yes.
or something.
And
Okay.
we are rather.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
Okay. And so focusing on Maharashtra का budget आ रहा
Yes,
है.
yes.
So जय महाराष्ट्र.
जय महाराष्ट्र.
So you have anything to say about it?
ठीक है. Just next अभी के नेक्स्ट वीक में महाराष्ट्र का बजट आएगा। अभी कुछ कुछ चीज़ें मेरे हिसाब से महाराष्ट्र के बजट में अच्छी होनी चाहिए। अगर आप देखोगे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के फाइनेंसेस, तो मेजर फाइनेंसेस उनको है तो बेसिकली प्रॉपर्टी टैक्सेस, एंटरटेनमेंट टैक्सेस एंड एक्साइज ड्यूटी आर द मेजर रेवेन्यू जनरेटिंग पॉइंट्स।
राइट।
तो अगेन कमिंग बैक टू द लैफर कर्व, अगर मैं प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स रिड्यूस करता हूँ ना, सो प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स रिड्यूस करने के बाद मेरा रेवेन्यू बढ़ता हुआ दिखेगा।
करेक्ट।
अगर जस्ट टू हाईलाइट, हम लोग ने 2021 में, कोविड में 2020 2021 में मैंने प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स रिड्यूस किया था, 5 to 2% का किया था, बट एट द सेम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम हमारा रेवेन्यू बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया, मेरे हाउसिंग के बुकिंग ज्यादा बढ़ गए यहाँ पे।
राइट।
सो अगर आप ऐसे कुछ इनोवेटिव स्टेप्स लोगे तो वहाँ पे मेरा रेवेन्यू बढ़ेगा, मेरा ब्लैक मनी कम होगा, सभी फाइनेंसेस क्लीन होंगे। सो आई एम होपिंग कि देयर शुड बी सम रिडक्शन इन प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स, दैट इज वन होपिंग। नेक्स्ट वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इज हमारा डिस्काउंट। डिस्काउंट मतलब डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनीज जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है जो हमारे पास पहुंचाती है, दैट इज डिस्काउंट्स। सो डिस्काउंट्स आर नॉट इन अ गुड फाइनेंशियल स्टेज। सो अगर डिस्काउंट्स अगर ढंग से चले और डिस्काउंट अगर फाइनेंशियल रिवाइवल करें हम लोग, सो वी कैन गेट अ गुड ट्रांसपेरेंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, बिकॉज वी फेस ह्यूज लोड शेडिंग।
करेक्ट।
हम लोग मुंबई में, हम लोग एलिट एरिया में, तो वी डोंट फेस लोड शेडिंग। बट अगर मुंबई से थोड़ा दूर जाओगे, आप करजल जाओगे या और दूर जाओगे, तो यू एवरीवन फेसेस लोड शेडिंग।
राइट।
सो अगर मैं डिस्काउंट सुधारूं, अगर मैं लॉसेस कम करूं, तो वो मेरा हो सकता है। सो आई वांट कि आवर बजट शुड फोकस ऑन दैट।
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Absolutely. That would be also. And also to my viewers, if you're watching this video, I hope you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon. If you want more such videos, we'll be coming up with it. But we need your support and all your love. And thank you so much, Mandar sir, for coming here, taking your precious time. And I hope my viewers, you have learned something new. Thank you.